seen that Abhinaya has 4 classifications: Angika, Vachika, Aharya and Sattvika. And while we dealt with the Sattvika Abhinaya, we discussed something about Bhava and Rasa, and you saw the Navarasas. You must know that the 3 classifications, Angika, Vachika and Aharya, merge with Sattvika to give an aesthetical harmony while the song is being danced, so that the rasa is created. The heroine, or the Nayika as she is called, is divided into Uttama Nayika, the superior, Madhyama, the average, and Adhama, the ordinary. Practically all the ancients and the great scholars agree on the 8 classifications of the Nayika, or the heroine, called the Ashtanayikas. These are the avasthas, or the states of the lady. They represent the situations in which the lady may be placed in relation to the hero. Let us look at the chart of the Nayika. The Nayika, you have Swakiya, one's own, Parakiya, another's wife, Sadharani, the courtesan. In the Swakiya, you have Mugdha, Madhya and Pragalpa. That is, on the threshold of youth, very young and then the mature. But this can also apply to the Parakiya. Now all the 3 divisions, all the 3 Nayikas finally lead to the Ashtanayikas, the states. All these 3 can experience the same situation. And this we will see later when we demonstrate the Ashtanayikas. The hero, or the Nayaka as he is called, literally means one who leads. And there are 4 types of heroes: Dhirodhata, brave and haughty; Dhiruddhata, brave and noble; Dhira Lalita, brave and sportive; Dhira Prashanta, brave and calm. In between these we have the messengers, the parrot, the cloud, the river and what not, called the Dood in Tamil, and of course the Sakis and the friends. We cannot forget Manmatha, the lord of love, Cupid, with his 5 flower arrows. It is said that when he shoots them, the heroine experiences 5 sensations, or pangs of love, suffering in the absence of her lord. The 5 arrows: lotus, Ashoka, mango, jasmine, and the blue lily. I have tried to simplify all this for you, but let me tell you, it is not so simple. Many analytical works have been written through the ages by great scholars and are still being written. We have with us Srimati Kalanidhi Narayanan, who has made a study of the Nayikas, and she will share with us each of the 8 Nayikas with the appropriate bit from a padam or a javali to illustrate the situation of each Nayika. She is a student of Chinnaya Naidu, and she has received the Padma Bhushan in recognition for her work. We begin the Ashtanayika with Swadhina Patika, where the heroine is confident of her lord's love and proud of it. In the Kshetrajna Padam, she says, "Oh friend, I am so fortunate that my lord loves me and keeps me happy all the time. Indeed, he is a great person."
Indi muva gopaludu sansatamu namadiki santoshamu chesile. Indi muva gopaludu santatamu namadiki santoshamu chesile. Indi muva gopaludu santatamu. నామదికి సంతోషము చేసినే ఇంది మువ గోపాలుడు సంతతము నామదికి సంతోషము చేసినే ఇంది మువ గోపాలుడు సంతతము నామదికి సంతోషము చేసినే ఎంత చక్కని వాడే నా సమీ.
Vasaka Sajja, the heroine adorns herself and decorates her surroundings in anticipation of her lord's arrival. In the Kannada Javali, she says, "I am waiting at the door, thinking of my beautiful lord and his arrival any moment. Indeed, I am tired."
ಸುಂದರಾಂಗನು ಸಾರಿ ಬರುವನೆಂದು ಸುಂದರಾಂಗನು ಸಾರಿ ಬರುವನೆಂದು ಸುಂದರಾಂಗನು ಸಾರಿ ಬರುವನೆಂದು ದಾರಿ ನೋಡಿ ನೋಡಿ ಬೇಸರಿಸಿದೆನಲ್ಲೇ 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 ಏದನೇ ಸಖಿ.
Virahotkantita is when the heroine is anxious and suffers the pangs of separation in the absence of her lord. In this Padam by Swati Tirunal, she says, "Is it possible for me to bear the pangs of separation? And is it proper for my lord to delay any further?"
ఇప్పుడు నన్ను నిరాగ వలపు తాళ వశమా వలపు తాళ వశమా నా సమీకి చలము సేయ న్యాయమా వలపు తాళ వశమా నా సమీకి చలము సేయ న్యాయమా వలపు తాళ వశమా నా సమీకి చలము సేయ న్యాయమా వలపు తాళ వశమా నా సమీకి చలము సేయ న్యాయమా.
Abhisarika, when the heroine herself goes to meet her lord, heedless of anything else. In the Padam Yarukagilum Bayama, she says, "Do I fear anyone? Let them talk. What is there to hide in my friendship with my lord?"
Yarukagilum Bayama Yarukagilum பயமா சும்மா சொல்லட்டும் யாரு கையிலும் பயமா சும்மா சொல்லட்டும் யாரு கையிலும் பயமா சும்மா சொல்லட்டும் இதிலென்ன ரகசியமா சும்மா சொல்லட்டும் யாரு கையிலும் பயமா சும்மா சொல்லட்டும் இதிலென்ன ரகசியமா சும்மா சொல்லட்டும் யாரு கையிலும் பயமா சும்மா சொல்லட்டும் இதிலென்ன ரகசியமா சும்மா சொல்லட்டும் யாரு கையிலும் பயமா.
Vipralabdha, the heroine, is deceived by her lord and she has the feeling of complete disappointment. In this padam by Ganam Krishnayar, she says, "Yesterday at dusk on the river bank, I saw a girl making signs at you. Who is she, my lord?"
நேற்றந்தே நேரத்திலே நீராடும் கரைதனிலே நேற்றந்தே நேரத்திலே நீராடும் கரைதனிலே நேற்றந்தே நேரத்திலே நீராடும் கரைதனிலே நெருங்கி உம்மை ஜாடை காட்டி அழைத்தவர் யாரோ சுவாமி நேற்றந்தே நேரத்திலே நீராடும் கரைதனிலே நெருங்கி உம்மை ஜாடை காட்டி அழைத்தவர் யாரோ சுவாமி நேற்றந்தே நேரத்திலே நீராடும் கரைதனிலே நெருங்கி உம்மை ஜாடை காட்டி அழைத்தவர் யாரோ சுவாமி நேற்றந்தே நேரத்திலே
Khandita Nayaka. The heroine spurns her lord with anger due to jealousy. In this Javali by the Tanjo Quartet, she says, "Do not touch me with the same hand that made love to another, O beautiful one."
ಮುಟ್ಟಬಾದುರ ಮೋಗನಾಂಗ ನನ್ನಿ ಕುಡು 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 ಮುಟ್ಟಬಾದುರ దూరాడోచు ముట్టవదురా జట్టు చేసి ఉండగ పట్టివా దూరాడోచు ముట్టవదురా జట్టు చేసి ఉండగ పట్టివా దూరాడోచు ముట్టవదురా గట్టు చేసి ఉండగ పట్టివా దూరాడోచు ముట్టవదురా మోగనాంగ నన్నీపుడు ముట్టవదురా.
Kalahantarita is when the heroine is sorry and repentant after spurning her lord. In this Kshetrajna Padam, she says, "Oh, listen to my folly. I was indifferent when my lord approached me."
మానిని వినవేనా బంధమూతితోనే మాట్లాడక ఆతనితో నేను మానిని వినవేనా మందబుద్ధితోనే మాట్లాడక ఆతనితో నేను మానిని వినవేనా మందబుద్ధితోనే మాట్లాడక ఆతనితో నేను మాట్లాడక మానిని వినవేనా మందబుద్ధితోనే మాట్లాడక ఆతనితో నేను మాట్లాడక
Proshita Bhartrika is the heroine who frets and suffers when her lord is away in a distant land. In this Padam of Kshetrajna, she recalls to her friend the loving words of her lord just before he left on the journey.
బామారో ఊరికి బయలు తేరుడు వేళ బామారో ఊరికి బయలు తేరుడు వేళ
That was Srimati Kalanidhi Narayanan demonstrating the Ashtanayikas, or the 8 classifications of the heroine in her different situations. The very fact that you and I are discussing about the dance form of Bharatanatyam, and the fact that Bharatanatyam is such a popular dance form, that is because of Srimati Rukmani Devi Arunde. Should we not see something of her? This recording was taken in 1981. In a Bharatanatyam recital, we follow a particular order, that is maybe given about 100. Do we have to follow that, or can we change?
You see, at the time that I learned, that was the system established by the Tanjore Quartet. You know who they are, and it was systematized that way. But there is no proof that it was not done differently before. I think it was something that was systematized by them. I don't think that we have to follow that particular rule. It has a special meaning because from the point of view of physical training, it develops first with Alaripu, with his no words but purely rhythmic movement and dedication and so on. Then goes Jatiswaram, which is only Swara and Jati and no words. Then comes Jatis and words in Shabdam. So it's a gradual development. Then the Varnam has all the aspects of the dance. So it is it had its own logic. But I am sure there is no rule that we have to do it that way now.
Another question, must we do what is taught by the teacher, or can we innovate in the doing of the Adavu patterns or in the Abhinaya and bring in new ideas to suit today's climatic conditions? I don't mean weather, of course, but today's audience.
If the teacher is very great and his teaching is very outstanding and beautiful, you should try to follow what he teaches you. But it doesn't mean that afterwards you cannot change or improve, not improve the style so much, because if he is a perfect artist, you can't say I'm changing the style. But you can do new combination of movements and new songs and so on. I myself had done a good deal of changing because at the time when I took it up, a great deal of reforms were necessary. Therefore I experimented with a great deal. So I don't see, it all depends upon your capacity and your ability and what kind of an artist you are. One creative artist is not like another.
You were saying that it is the way you express the Abhinaya, that is interpretation of the songs. Because Sringara is part of life, and why not show it the right way? Could you say a little more about it? How subtle you have to be, how you have to show it?
It's if you take a really good Kshetrinya Pada, for example, you first of all you have to select the right songs, because what may sound right in poetry may not sound right in actual gesture by the human flesh and form. You cannot have the same medium. I remember once at a conference there was a discussion about ornaments and clothes. Somebody said the statues are so beautiful even without clothes. It's natural, they said. But I said, we cannot do exactly what the statues are. First of all, the attitude with which the person who has done the statue changes the beauty of the form. So you must remember, these songs, they were composed by divine inspiration. You read the life of the composer and you will see they had actually pratyaksha, vision of Krishna, and they saw everything in a divine form and they put that into the music, into the poetry. What we have to do is to interpret the same spirit in our movement. But being purely physical, we may have, and it is movement, we have to convey it through movement and through expression of the eyes and so on. And if you bring it down to the level of the flesh, then you are not keeping it at the level at which the composer composed it. And therefore, we are not even interpreting it in the right way. But it's wrong to say we shouldn't have Sringara, because Sringara is love, yes, and beauty, but without which I think there will be hardly any dance at all.
There is another name, they call it as Bhakti Sringara. Would that suit what you want to say?
Bhakti and Sringara must be one.
You cannot separate them.
You can't separate that. That is, depends upon you. I have danced many of these things. Of course, I have selected carefully, because sometimes people have chosen songs that are rather coarse in words and not suitable for interpretation in the human body. But when I have danced, I must very frankly confess it, if I didn't have bhakti, I couldn't have danced it. I really couldn't have. Because the delicate feeling, you have to lift yourself to a much higher consciousness and become one with that spirit. Then the movements express that. It is not by your movement you express the feeling, it is by your feeling you express the movement.
One thing in an audience is always mixed, is it not? Some come to see the dance, some to see the dancer, and some to see her form and everything. So it is mixed. So don't you feel that by doing Bharatanatyam we should try and lift them to a higher plane of thought and not trigger their baser instincts? How would we try to do that?
There is no question about it. There is no question at all. If Bharatanatyam is supposed to stimulate the lower feelings in the audience, then it's better not to do Bharatanatyam at all.
That was memorable, was it not? Until next time.